Welcome back. Today I'm playing Baldur's Gate with Fancyboy Stealalot. We're on our way to Nashkel Mines to figure out what's going on.
All this traveling, all this adventure, how do you manage it? Until now I was barely able to keep my head above water. Yet here with you it seems almost easy.
There is safety in numbers.
Safety in numbers, eh? Fair enough. I guess I've just never really had a traveling companion before. My life on the road has been a solitary affair, full of cold nights and colder dreams. It's enough to make a girl want to head back to High Forest.
High Forest, is that where you come from?
That's me, born and raised in the thicket. At least until my mistakes piled up high enough to come crashing down on me.
What drove you out of your home?
You know, this and that. I was never a very good student of magic, and part of that could be attributed to never studying. I ended up flubbing a few spells, and here I am.
It would appear that you glossed over some of the finer details.
A maiming or two, if you don't count the second-degree burns. Completely accidental, and everybody lived. Well, at least I'm pretty sure everybody lived.
Accidents happen, even horrible ones.
You really know how to get someone to open up. Why, yes, let me just share intimate details about my past. You put me right at ease.
Take your time. Tell me when you're ready.
During our magical training, we were supposed to summon a sphere of fire. And mine got away from me somehow. One moment I was concentrating, the next moment my classmates were rolling on the floor screaming.
A terrible turn of events, but you can't blame yourself.
Of course I can blame myself. Accident or not, I should have been more careful. I could have taken responsibility or at least fetched a bucket of water. Instead, I ran away, terrified of what I'd done.
I can understand why you might panic in that situation. For whatever reason, they didn't voice her line here. It's kind of you to put it that way. There are times when I've wanted to think that way. It was confusing, and I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Still, afterwards I ran into the woods and couldn't bear to go back to face the consequences. I snuck back into the village now and then for food and once to leave a note for my parents, but eventually I had to leave.
I took to wandering High Forest, but I kept running into the wrong people and doing the wrong thing. Eventually, Turlang the tree and grabbed me and said, "Take a hike." Well, maybe not in those words exactly.
And so you left on your journey.
And so I left High Forest. I've been wandering for a while now. I've got a few ideas for a destination, but I'm still considering them. Come, let us continue this journey together.
I serve the flaming fist.
You there, you're under arrest for banditry and highway robbery. We know you're part of that bandit group who's been terrorizing the coastway. Give yourselves up, or there will be trouble. You've got the wrong guys. We're not part of any bandit gang. Really now, why should we believe you? Well, because of my warm smile and honest demeanor. Sweet talking won't help you at all. Arrest us then. We're not taking you alive. Murdering swine. Yeah, I didn't pick the best choice for this conversation. There were better ones to choose, but I just wanted to see what would come out of this. So, we'll live with the consequences of whatever happens because of this.
My spleen! Alas, my life's blood seeps out.
With your hurried flight from Candlekeep barely behind you, the troubles facing the Sword Coast seem an unfamiliar blur to your fractured nerves. Gorion would not have you sit idle, however, and perhaps investigating local concerns will shed some light on your own predicament. How the iron shortage or the trouble in the Nashkel mines could possibly be linked to you, you have no idea.
Stand away, citizen!
Identify yourselves! I am Fancyboy Stealalot, and this is my band of fellow adventurers. I hear that this is a troubled region of late. Allow me to put ourselves at your disposal during our stay here. If you're seeking to resolve troubles, welcome. If you're seeking to cause them, kindly take it elsewhere. Things are not good here, Fancyboy Stealalot. What things aren't good? All I have heard are rumors and vague suspicions. What is good around here anymore? Our iron is rotten, and there is talk of demons in the mines. The lower levels have been all but abandoned until this crisis passes. And then there is the question of Commander Brage. They have stripped him of that title, but I use it yet. He killed his wife and children in a rage one night, and all who saw him. Then he tore himself away and headed for the hills. He is out there still, and still we mourn, as much for him as for those he's taken. Fie on you now, you've brought a soldier to tears.
I will show you justice!
Let's go grab a rest.
It may be a touch unladylike, but I'm gonna slit your throat, I am.
Just fancy my luck seeing you stroll in here, bold as day. I expected a hunt and a chase from the description, but who am I to argue easy coins in the purse? May the Lord of Shadows guide you swiftly to your death. Is there no compassion in your heart? Will you not reconsider? To put it as succinctly as possible, no. Bounty notice. Be it known to all those of evil intent that a bounty has been placed upon the head of Fancyboy Stealalot, the foster child of Gorion. Last seen in the region of Baragost, this person is to be killed in quick order. The subject is to be considered a formidable foe, and is likely to have well-equipped traveling companions. This offer has been extended to all appropriate guilds. Those returning with proof of the deed shall receive no less than 680 coins of gold. As always, any that reveal these plans to the forces of law shall join the target in their fate. Storekeep. Interested in a little business on the side, friend? I've a man who swears by his grandmother that he glimpsed a white wolf up in the Cloud Peak ice fields. It was but a short ways south, and she be easy pickings for a smart sword. I'd put you pay you good money for its pelt, so it's a guaranteed sale if you go. Keep in mind on your travels. Can I interest you in anything here in my humble shop? Yes, what do you have for sale? The helm of infravision, the eyes of truth. Being a scavenger of a sort, Babette Maelstrom had this helm created to aid her in her dungeon excursions. She would later attribute her gathered wealth solely to its power, though likely it was as much her keen eyes as anything. Baron Gastkill. Hello there. I recognize Jahira in your group, so you must be the adventurers I was expecting. I am Baron Gastkill, Mayor of Nashkel, and I am happy to welcome you. I am sorry we had to meet under these circumstances. What exactly is the trouble here? I can't believe you haven't guessed. Have you heard of the iron shortage? Well, Nashkel is in the thick of it. Our mines are all but shut down because the workers continually go missing, and what ore we do get is tainted somehow. I would send in the town guards, but we need them to protect our citizens from the bandits that raid our caravans. We need you to find out what is wrong in the mines southeast of town. I will do what I can. Thank you. You will be the toast of the town.
Oh, you have returned, and so soon.
Oobleck, no, say not another word. I would not think of making you wait but a moment for your just reward. When council told me that they had procured Grey Wolf to rid the woods of the bandit Tonquin, I knew we could expect swift justice. I would not have predicted success this quickly, but who else could it be striding into town looking as you do? Please accept this meager sum of 200 gold pieces, as well as the heartfelt thanks of all of Nashkel. You must have made some mistake. I am not this Grey Wolf. Keep your money. It is not mine to take. You are not the Grey Wolf, the bounty hunter? Oh, sweet helm, I almost gave 200 gold pieces to a complete stranger. The captain best not hear of this. He'd have my hide. Thanks be for your honesty, stranger. There are those who would not have done such.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself.
Hail, and well met.
Gnome. Well met, traveler.
Traveler? Well, that's the nicest thing anyone has called me in weeks.
We should kill that one last, Senjak. Such good manners.
What treachery is this?
No, there's no reason for this to turn violent. Hand over your belongings and you may yet live.
You'll need to be more convincing than that, brigand. 5 against our party? The odds don't seem to favor you.
You should listen to Senjak, friend. Perhaps you've noticed our associates who are even now aiming their arrows at your hearts. Raise a hand against us and they'll cut you down.
If I die, I will at least take you with me.
Now then, empty your pockets. What's going on back there? This is impossible.
Senjak, Dorothea, I swore I would crush the life out of you someday. Today is that day.
Dorn, you should be dead or rotting in a Luskan prison. How did you find us?
I'm happy to see you, Dorn. Leaving you behind to take the blame was all Simeon's idea. He's the one you want, not us.
Just following orders is a coward's excuse, Dorothea. And I haven't forgotten what you said when I refused your advances.
What advances? She would never consort with a half-orc, especially when she has me. You haven't changed, Dorn. You're as stupid as you're ugly. Tell him, Dorothea.
Senjak was the first to agree with Simeon. He always hated you. But you know, I didn't feel the same way.
Dorothea, what are you saying? Rules, of course. But the half-breed brute is too stupid for that to work. Men, rush them.
You are both mewling cowards, turning on each other as easily as you turned on me. Half your men are already dead. You'll join them soon.
It didn't have to be this way. We've beaten you before, Dorn. We'll do it again. Attack!
I must have aid. I'm not well at all.
You handled yourself well enough.
You act surprised.
As a rule, I do not rely on those who fight beside me. Perhaps you may prove an exception to the rule.
Perhaps. What was that business with those two bandits, and who are you anyway?
My name is Dornil Khan, and I was settling an old score. I've been hunting those two for almost a year now. That's 2 down and 2 to go.
When you struck them down, what happened? I saw some ghostly apparition appear.
My powers are none of your concern, unless you are looking for a strong arm to join you.
They were quite impressive. I could use a man like you.
Wait, are you?
Fancyboy Stealalot? Yes, I am he.
I've heard of your prowess. Traveling with you might help my vendetta, and my powers could certainly help you.
Perhaps they would. Before I accept your aid and offer mine in return, who exactly are you looking for?
The former companions betrayed me and left me to rot in a Luskan prison. I've spent the last year tracking them down. After Senjak and Dorothea, there are 2 left.
Aye, and why do you need my help? You seem to be doing well enough on your own.
My appearance often frightens those who have information I need. Investigation is not my strong suit. From what I've heard, you have a knack for this sort of thing.
Yes, I can see your point. Welcome aboard, Dorn. Imoen says, I'm getting a bad feeling about this guy, Fancyboy Stealalot. Jaheira says, I do not think that Gorion would have wanted you to take up arms with such individuals, Fancyboy Stealalot. You continue to diverge from the lessons he taught you, and it does not bode well. What do you mean, continue? Come on. Give the guy a chance. Just because he's evil doesn't mean he's a bad guy. I'm not trying to borrow from Wreck-It Ralph, I swear.
We shall cut a bloody swath across the Sword Coast.
Mutton-mongering riffraff.
Ah, well, I suppose it will give me the opportunity to work on this new ballad I've been thinking of. I bet you'll never guess who the protagonists are.
So you want to take a look at me mine, do you?
Well, I see no harm. Indeed, we could be using the help. There be problems in the lower levels, where we lost some workers. The men talk of things a-movin' below, but who's to say? The earth, she hides many things from sight.
Oh, I'm so tired.
More adventurers, eh? I'd leave while you still can if I were you. I've heard awful stories about what's been happening to those that go deeper into the mines. Why, what have you heard? Well, my friend Roof, he barely escaped with his life, he did. Little demons jumped out of the very walls and chased him down. He'd be dead now if it weren't for the guards that came running. Of course, them guards are dead now. Old Ruffy's around here somewhere. You ask him what he saw and he'll tell you.
Leave us be. 'Tis much work to be done.
What do you want? Tell me about the mines. What's been making the miners disappear? Demons! The little devils are everywhere, I tell ya. From the walls they're coming. They're gonna kill us all. So he's a blackguard. I don't know much about that class. He's got a nice sword. Rancor +1. This ebony two-handed sword is covered with inscriptions that you cannot decipher. It hums softly in the presence of Dornil Khan. Individuals who are good of heart are overcome with feelings of guilt and anxiety when they hold this blade. Statistics. Combat abilities. When Dorn holds this blade, any death that it causes has a chance to grant Dorn an increase of +1 to his hit rolls for 24 hours.
I think I'm coughing up blood.
A visitor. Oh, glorious day. We don't get many down here, as you can imagine. Are you gonna go into the mines? If so, could you return this dagger to Kylie? He dropped it when he went into the mine the other day, and I haven't seen him since. Sure, I'll return his dagger. Thank you so much. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
So dark down here.
What? Oh, it's just another fool here to save us. Go ahead, try to rid the mines of all their evil and get yourself killed like the last couple. Last couple what? Adventurers, you idiot. You think you're the first to try to save us all? Not likely. Not gonna be the last, I'll wager, either. Miner Belton. They're coming! The yipping demons! They're everywhere! Save me! Never fear, we shall protect you from any harm. But they're... And somehow he dies, even though... I don't know what hit him. Maybe he already got attacked by them and he was dying anyway.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah, by the gods of all the depths. You scared the living bejeezers out of me. Leave us to get back to work, will you? We gotta meet our quota or they'll send us down to the lower levels. Last crew lost 5 men down there. It's interesting that we're looking into the ore problems, but we're not looking into the obvious mistreatment of workers that's going on here.
So dark down here.
You have my dagger? Thank you so much. I was getting nervous down here, being unarmed. With all these things going on. What do you know about the happenings of the mine? Kobolds! They're overrunning the place piece by piece. We used to see them occasionally, but now you can't go more than a few feet without kicking one of them on the lower levels. It's not so bad up here with the guards around. Still, I wouldn't get caught in the dark if I were you. Gonna be kinda hard to avoid the dark, since we are in the mines. The vial of mysterious liquid. This potion contains a strange green substance similar to residue you have seen in some of the mining carts. The liquid inside appears to very slightly discolor iron that it comes in contact with, and is likely related to the mysterious plague that renders smelted weapons and tools brittle. The kobolds you killed must have tainted all the ore leaving the mine, though it is unlikely they would have concocted this plan themselves. And I don't know why you have the option to drink it. I don't know why you would want to drink something that contaminates metal. I guess if you're curious about how bad something is for you, you want to play like a toddler and you just put everything in your mouth.
Alas, my life's blood.
I don't know much about kobolds. I don't know like a lot of the D&D lore. Are they literally demons, or are they just calling them demons because they look kind of like a demon or something? Ugh, man. Imagine dealing with giant spiders. I'll take them tiny and cute. I would rather not have giant spiders. Thank you, no. And I'm looking at you, Australia. You need to stop it with the giant spiders. Or just make them fuzzier and cuter. And those fire arrows are nice. I don't know if there's some vendor where I can get a whole bunch of those, but I'll probably start using them if I can find them.
You do not dream often, but tonight the visions are vivid indeed. Long have you walked, but now you find yourself back amidst the stones of Candlekeep. Your former home looms before you, but the gate is closed and barred. Over the walls there is a candle in your old room, but as the light goes out, the brick surrounding the window closes together. The very walls conspire to keep you at bay. A familiar voice startles you, though it is calm and caring. You cannot go back this way, child. You must go on. Gorion forms before you, and though his image should be comforting, it seems but a shade of his living self. He is dead in your dreams, as in life. The phantom of your foster father gestures toward the blackness of the wood, as though it should be inviting. Perhaps it is, in a way, but the traveling will be hard. As you think this, a smooth and obvious path becomes clear out of the corner of your eye. It seems meant for you, pulls at your very being, and promises to quickly lead you away from the life you once led. Perhaps this would be for the best, but it is a bit too convenient for your liking. You do not wish to dwell upon the loss you have endured, but neither should it be forgotten. Gorion smiles and fades away. The pull becomes a push, but you turn away. Steadfast in your new direction, the way is not quite as clear, but it is sure to be interesting nonetheless. A whisper follows as you stride away. Something vestigial and sinister that you recognize, but yet have never heard. You will learn. You don't look back.
It's interesting that that dream seems to happen kind of randomly. I actually had a couple different playthroughs that I had to like redo to get here, and yeah, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Malahi, Tazok must have dispatched you, and my traitors kobolds let you pass, didn't they? I knew I could not trust them. Armed as such, you have obviously been sent to kill me. By Sirik, not a measure of ore leaves these mines unspoiled, and I am still to be executed. I'll not lose my head over this. No one sent us, but thy head is no less danger. Reveal thy treachery, and mayhaps we will be merciful. Tazok did not send thee? Then thou art dead. Help my minions, help! I don't know why I gave him that accent. Whatever. At least I didn't make all the half-orcs sound like Gomer Pyle or something. My servant, Malahi, I have sent you the kobolds and mineral poison that you require. Your task is to poison any iron ore that leaves these mines. Don't reveal your presence to the miners, or you will find yourself swamped by soldiers from the local Amnian garrison. My superiors have recently hired on the services of the Black Talon mercenaries and the Chill. With these soldiers at my disposal, I should be able to destroy any iron caravans entering the region from the south and east. I don't want to deal with iron coming from the Nashkel mines, so don't fail in your duty. Tazok. He's got the Chill on his side, huh? Chill, bro. That'll be alright. Moonblade, +3. This potent weapon was created by the smiths of ancient myth Draenor. Moonblades are used in the long process of selecting a ruler for the Isle of Evermeet. A moonblade chooses its owner, and in the case of this sword, it has chosen the elf Zan. Only Zan can use this blade. Anyone else who tries will find themselves unable to lift it. This particular moonblade gives off resistance to fire and a bonus to the user's armor class. Well, dang. Does +3, 1d8 damage. It has +1 to your armor class, 50% fire resistance. That is a heck of a dagger.
I thank you for my freedom, friends, for I have languished in these dismal vaults too long.
Zen. It was unbearable, waking each morning to the mud and rock instead of the rising sun. I am Zan, a grey cloak of Evereska, and as proficient in the ways of magic as any man can be. If you be enemies of Malahi, I would join your cause, hopeless though it is. How did you become trapped in such an inhospitable place? Alas, I was sent to investigate the strange goings-on about this area, and I landed caged for seemingly hopeless weeks on end. I have not seen the sun almost as long as I have not seen my home. Certainly you are welcome to join me. Another pair of hands can only help, especially when they are proficient in the ways of magic. I thank you. However ineffective our actions may be, I shall not rest until I have made payment to you. If you have searched through Malahi's treasure, you may have found a sword amongst his documents. The sword is a moonblade, and it is my most valued possession. Well, I didn't want to remove Nira, but only 6 at a time.
Seriously? After all we've been through? Obviously, I had the wrong idea about our friendship. When you're ready to apologize, you can find me at the Friendly Arm Inn.
It is certain that the death of Mullahay will relieve the fears of the terrorized folk of Nashkel. But you remain uneasy. While the half-orc may indeed have caused the evils that befell the mine, the shortage of iron is too widespread to be his doing alone. His letters confirm your suspicions, and though they give little indication as to where his cohorts are hiding, they may have links to the bandits that currently plague the Coastway.
Grey ooze. I was planning to backtrack through the entire dungeon, but I'm glad that I went this way first. Baron Gaskill, you have returned. It would seem I was right to trust you. The town thanks you wholeheartedly and is pleased to give you the proper reward. Please take this 900 gold for your efforts. It is a small fortune by anyone's standards. Thank you again. I also found this vial of liquid on one of the kobolds in the mines. I think it might have something to do with the iron. I'm no master of metals, but you might want to show that to Thunderhammer, up in Baragost. He might know a little more. Well, let's go identify all those items.
Ah, intrepid adventurers at our door.
This is a magical arrow that will burst into flames as it is fired at an enemy. The effect is similar to an arrow doused in oil and set to flame. Does a pretty decent amount of damage for an arrow. Sounds like a very expensive piece of ammo, though. At least I'm assuming it is. The short sword is the first type of sword to come into existence. In the simplest of terms, a short sword can be considered a dagger with a blade so long that it can no longer be called a dagger. This short blade is magical, improving accuracy and damage. So it's a +1 short sword. Not bad. And the boots. Talos' gift, the boots of grounding. Untold years ago, the fortress of the Starspire Peninsula was placed under the direct torment of Talos when a favored storm herald was murdered there. Talos promised the destruction of the city by earthquakes, its isolation by tidal waves, and the death of its citizens by storms. One pair of these boots was bestowed to ensure that none but a single man would survive to tell the story of his wrath. Later, travelers seeking fortune in the ruined city came upon an aged man, maddened by the continuous destruction around him. The boots he wore would carry to many a distant land the legend of a city consumed by a god's rage. The Ring of Holiness, Honorary Ring of Sun. Rings of this type were given to faithful priests of Sun who demonstrated actions of astounding integrity and kindness. When equipped, this will allow a priest to memorize one extra divine spell of each level from 1st to 4th. That sounds good. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I haven't played with a priest, so we shall see. The wakizashi, or companion sword, is extremely important to the samurai. It is worn at all times, even indoors, and is near the samurai when he sleeps at night. Wu-gen masters have concealed within this wakizashi great power, unleashed only when the wielder is in the thick of battle. How or why this wakizashi made it to Faerun is unknown, but if the samurai who owned it still lives, he will certainly be looking for it. So it's a +1 wakizashi. Well, we're coming to the end of the video. So if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'll try to respond as quickly as possible. Sometimes I miss comments, but usually not more than a day or two before I respond. And, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.